She hit me up and asked me to join her, to accompany her in a trip to Brownsville, Texas for cosmetic surgery. Once I got there, I was then informed that her procedure was being done across the border. I didn't have proper identification, so I couldn't join her to go across to the border, which left me back at the hotel.
You didn't know you'd be going out of the country. You didn't know you'd be going to Mexico. You didn't bring ID with you.
So she was going with her friend to get a cosmetic procedure and didn't know that they were going into Mexico. She thought they were going to Texas.
We all traveled together. Okay. It was a road trip. When I told her I didn't have my ID with me, they dropped me off at the hotel and said that they would return in 15 minutes. That's why I was so worried and in fear, because it didn't seem right. 15 minutes had gone by. They were not there.
How long did you wait after 15 minutes? I mean, it must have been agonizing.
When they dropped me off at the hotel, I had got into the shower. I showered and I laid on the bed. I think I was exhausted from, the long hours, the long ride. So I ended up falling asleep. I woke up and it was already 5:00 in the afternoon. So from 9 to 5, I went down to the office, the clerk in the hotel, and I asked him, had my friends come back or attempted to, come.
So she was going to go get a tummy tuck within 15 minutes and then come back. That's the story that they're putting on national news. Why is this happening?
So no, it could have been something else.
You mean the 15-minute tummy tuck where they were supposed to run across the border for 15 minutes?
Yeah, I don't know whether if she's crazy if she get a tummy tuck in 15 minutes.
So from 9 to 5, I went down to the office, the clerk in the hotel, and I asked him, had my friends come back or attempted to, come in and out the hotel, come back to the hotel. And he told me no.
And this interview with Anderson Cooper is not really helping.
So I called my boyfriend. I called Tay's brother, and I said, something's not right. And I text my roommate. I said, something's not right. 9 o'clock got here, 12 o'clock got here, midnight. And then now we're into Saturday morning at 10:23. It's literally a few minutes before checkout. I'm like, there's no way. I called the cops immediately.
And I know you had their luggage, you had their things. Is that right?
I had 3 of the 3 male victims' belongings. I retrieved it after it became 11 o'clock.
At what point did you learn about what had actually happened? When did you see the video?
They sent it to me, I think, it had to be between Saturday night and Sunday morning, like the wee hours.
What did you think when you saw that? I mean,
I dropped the phone. My body clenched up. I dropped the phone. My stomach was in knots. And I just began praying. I just began praying for the return of them. I want the world to leave us alone and stop being mean. I want them to have a heart, because everyone has a past. What happened to her wasn't right.
These people said that they were going into a drug town run by a drug cartel of drugs selling, manufacturing in the system of their children, or distributing. And I'm curious as to why we feel that that is not relevant to the story overall. Why do we get upset at the truth tellers in our neighborhoods, or in our families, or in our community? Why?
The truth of a person's background matters. It matters to show patterns. It matters to show who this individual was, how they may have been conducting themselves at the time of the incident, what it is that they may have been doing. You're calling them victims, right? And you're talking about some things that are very, very peculiar. 3 men with former drug-related arrests and criminality, right? 1 woman, an additional woman whose background I just pulled, right? Going down to Mexico, not telling the wives and partners that they were going to Mexico, allegedly. And then the woman who is now talking about being left across the border, saying they said they were going to come back in 15 minutes. So we're calling them victims and saying that they did not deserve what happened, et cetera, et cetera. We don't know what it is that they deserve. You playing around with drugs and dealing with the cartel and all this other stuff, you're playing a dangerous game if that's the game that you're playing. It's a dangerous game. Be a part of the live show with thousands of other viewers. Go to TonyaTKO.com/text and join the text notification squad and get a text whenever I go live. Support the show and yourself, and I'll see you on the next live broadcast.
A wise man once told me that your eulogy is written by how you live.